The Sodor Railway, Season 2, Episode 15. Stanley, the Railway Saver. Stanley has been put on garbage duty, and he's not been enjoying it. Garbage duty, garbage duty. He was being very angry about it. "Oh, just be quiet," said Cora. "Garbage duty, he said. He had to slowly pull the trains every single day. Stanley did not like going slow, and he most certainly did not like even pulling the trains. All he'd always say whenever he'd pull the trains would just be, "Garbage duty, garbage duty." And would always say it out of anger. Sometimes when engines were to see him, they would just try and they would close their eyes and try and not listen, but it was always no good. And Stanley was always very angry about it. Worst of all, the trucks that were pulling the garbage were even angrier. They would always want to play tricks on Stanley to make the loads even slower. While this was not a good choice on their end, it was always fun for them to always make Stanley even angrier. "Garbage duty," said Stanley. "Let's slow him down," said one truck the one day. "Yeah," said the other. So they kept on applying their brakes, and his wheels slid. "Garbage duty," said Stanley out of anger. He eventually gave up and waited for them to stop braking. "Garbage duty," said Stanley. Soon the brakes stopped, but Stanley had so much trouble with pulling the trains. He was having that much trouble that the manager was beginning to think that he was beginning to think to replace Stanley and just put Stanley at the back of the shed. But Stanley knew he could do it even if he was angry about it. So he always pulled the trains, but he was just never stopped complaining. "Garbage duty," he always would say. One day he finally arrived at the station. He's very angry as usual. The garbage was being unloaded and put into the compost, but then Stanley heard a whistle. "Help me, help me! Bertram!" said Stanley. It was the first different words from garbage duty he had said in weeks. Bertram came racing past Stanley as a runaway. "No, Bertram, Bertram!" said Stanley. "Help, help, I'm a runaway, they're pushing me!" said Bertram. "I must help him," said Stanley, and he raced off. "Stanley, you're not meant to leave your work," said Cora. Stanley was racing back to the station on the other line, racing after Bertram. "Bertram, I'm here, Bertram." "Stanley, aren't you meant to be doing the garbage run?" "Yes, Bertram, but you need to trust me. You need to begin braking." "But I am braking. Stanley, help!" And Bertram got pushed even further and faster. The trucks were shaking, one of them had derailed, but finally re-railed. "I'm coming, Bertram," said Stanley. He raced his wheels as fast as he could. He was going as fast as he could, and finally catched up to Bertram. "Now, I'm gonna couple up." Stanley was not able to couple up, but what he was able to do was bash the trucks until he coupled up. "Right, I'm coupled up. Now I'm gonna brake, Bertram. You need to brake as well. I am braking, said Bertram. Good, just keep on braking. We're near a turn, said Bertram. He closed his eyes. They neared the turn. It would seem like they were about to derail. But luckily, with Stanley and Bertram braking, they stopped just in time. We did it, said Bertram. We did it, said Bertram. He cheers along with Stanley. Hooray, said Stanley. 3 cheers for Stanley, said Bertram. But then the manager walked up. Bertram, why did you become a runaway? I'm sorry, sir, but the trucks pushed me. But Stanley here saved me. Is that so? Yes, sir, yes, sir. The manager walked up to Stanley. Stanley? Yes, sir, please don't put me back on the scrapyard or put me at the back of the sheds or scrap me because I was only trying to save Bertram. Well, I'm not going to do any of those. You can go back to your normal jobs. Wait, what? Said Stanley and Bertram in confusion. You saved one of the most important engines on this railway. If Bertram was derailed, the railway would have to close, or the railway would have to be closed, and all of you engines would be sent to scrap or to a new railway. As the current mine engines we have now are not in the best shape, and Bertram is the youngest out of them all, and they can work the best out of us all. But don't worry, the other mine engines are in the works, getting improvements, which is why if Bertram got derailed, the railway would have to close. Well done, Stanley. I don't know what to say, sir, said Stanley. Yes, you do. Apologies. I'm sorry for being rude, sir. I was not trying to be rude. Plus my wheel configuration rail gauge is way too narrow for these rails. Not so. Well, I do not believe you about that gauge, but other than that, you do have the right to be working on this railway once again, not on garbage duty. But who's going to be on garbage, sir? Ah, don't worry. I have a roads vehicle do that. And who's that? Bertie the bus? Bertie? No. I was joking. A new road vehicle. Okay. Now, get to the works. You need to be repaired and repolished if you're going to go back to goods passengers again. Thank you, sir. And Stanley steamed away. Soon they got Stanley to the works and they got him all washed. He was covered in soap and he couldn't stop laughing as it always just tickled him. Then they repainted him after he was dried. Then after that, he steamed out the works, shiny as any engine ever wanted to be. This was all because of his bravery on the railway, on saving the railway. He's now known as Stanley the Railway Saver.